Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at some climate activists who tried to defile and destroy a Van Gogh painting at a national gallery, basically in an effort to promote climate change, ideas. You know, they basically want, I guess, for people to stop using gas in their cars and stuff and contributing to climate change. So, you know, just using your common sense, if there's a way that you want people to stop doing that, right? The first thing you should think of is just going to the art museum and defiling paintings, just vandalizing people's stuff that's, you know, historic and worth probably millions of dollars. That's the first thing you should do when you're trying to deal with something like this. So obviously we're going to be dealing with some pretty big idiots in this video, right? And it's kind of insane how viral this went. I'm looking at just one Twitter clip of this and it has 43.1 million views in only one day, right? So it's like everyone's seen this video at this point, dude. Feels like everybody's been talking about this on Twitter and all over social media, so there's a pretty good chance you may have already seen this. I don't know if it was on the news or whatever, but it's just actually crazy. I've been trying to think of the mentality that leads you down the road of doing something like this, and I'm dumbfounded, to be honest, because just looking at what they did and thinking about how that really attributes anything to their cause, just nonsense, man. There's nothing there. You can tell that these people, you know, they're not the brightest bulb out of the bunch, right? You know, they're not the sharpest knife in the kitchen, right? Just simply because of what they do here. So I'm going to go ahead and play the video clip for you guys to take a look at. But before I go any further in the video, I want to remind you, only 50% of you are subscribed to the channel. And if you want to see daily Optimus uploads and get notifications for them, make sure to hit the sub button down below and the notifications set to all to make sure you're notified every time I upload. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video.
Security.
Alright, so this is Van Gogh's Sunflowers painting at the National Gallery here that was basically defaced like this, and they took a can of tomato soup apparently, or tomato paste, and that's what they threw on the painting. Obviously this pissed a lot of people off because it doesn't even make sense, man. You know, yeah, I get it. Climate change is a real issue. It's something that we have to worry about. It's a problem. I know a lot of people disagree on that, but you know, I'm just going with what the scientists say, right? So we all understand that climate change is this problem that needs to be addressed, but what exactly does this do to address anything? Well, I guess you could say, oh, they're raising awareness for the issue. What awareness needs to be raised for the issue? Who on planet Earth doesn't know about climate change, right? At least who on Twitter doesn't know about climate change? You really think that this is something we need to raise awareness for? Everyone already knows it's a problem. So what's the point in raising awareness for this? So that doesn't even make sense to me. On top of that, why out of everything you could have done did you try to deface a rare painting by one of the world's greatest artists of all time, tried to ruin a culturally significant piece of artwork so you could talk about climate change? None of this makes any sense. And then they glued themselves to the wall. They pull out quick binding glue or whatever, and they glue their hand to the wall. What did you really think you were accomplishing here? I think they thought people were gonna see this video of them taking out a fucking 97-cent can of Campbell's tomato soup or whatever, right? And throwing it on a painting, and we were all gonna jump up out of our fucking seats, right? Woohoo, these people are heroes, man. I really support and back them. When in reality, they're just kind of assholes, right? Nothing about this lines up. None of this makes any sort of sense whatsoever. You could have marched outside of the state capitol building or whatever. You could have held a protest with thousands of people. You could have created a social media petition, anything, right? But out of everything that came to mind, the one thing you guys took action on was going into a museum and trying to destroy a Van Gogh painting. What did Vincent Van Gogh even do that made his painting the one that you had to target? Out of all of these paintings in here, why was it Van Gogh whose painting got targeted? Is it because it's the most valuable and the most respected maybe in the entire gallery? I don't know. But from my knowledge, it wasn't Vincent Van Gogh was walking around one day yeah, man, fuck climate change activists. You know, I love carbon emissions, and I like watching animals suffer and choke in the fucking powdered coal. Was Van Gogh some sort of climate change image denialist or something like that. I don't know, but they just decided that Van Gogh's painting was the one they had to target. I mean, it makes as much sense to me as it does to you guys. Like, it's just fucking stupid. Now, obviously, this is a crime. You can't just go into an art gallery and try to vandalize a super rare painting and then glue yourself to the wall. From my knowledge, that probably constitutes at least a couple crimes I can think of. And also, the public reaction to this probably wasn't what they wanted. So, in an effort to, like, raise awareness for climate change and like maybe raise awareness for their organization or whatever, they're wearing these weird ass little shirts with the like insignia on the back looking like generic video game supervillain characters or something like that. I think they thought like people were gonna celebrate them doing this, like, oh yeah, finally people are standing up for climate change, man. People are finally getting to the real root of the issue and solving the problem, right? But in reality, the vast majority of people who've seen this video are like, yeah, these people are dum-dums and they're also assholes, because this did nothing to solve any issue, and it didn't really raise any good awareness. Like, at this point, there's more people who are now probably against your mission and against your cause simply because of what you just did. So this is one thing I've never understood about organizations that do like shock shit like this to try and like upset people. Like PETA, you know, I think they're a really good example of this. They do like these shocking escapades to like try and get people to like, I guess, wake up to what they're saying. But in the midst of doing that, they just do some over the line ridiculous shit that nobody agrees with, and they end up destroying the entire message that they're actually trying to promote. So now people aren't seeing this and being like, oh, you know, I really agree with these climate change activists. Now they're like, oh, hey, climate change activists are kind of douchebags. Look at the bullshit they pull off to try and spread their message. They're just kind of vandals. Like, that's not a good thing for your cause. You know what I mean? It's not bringing any good publicity to anything you're trying to do. But of course, you know, these people probably didn't take the time to think about that or think about the ramifications of the things that they're about to do. There is some good news out of this entire thing. The painting was not damaged in any way. Authorities there said that there was some minor damage to the frame holding the painting, but the painting was actually behind like a clear case or something like that that protects people from vandalizing it. If you didn't know, art vandalism is a legitimate concern and it's something that does happen, so they unfortunately in places like this have to put up like a layer of protective glass or something to protect people from not only like touching the paintings and potentially ruining them that way, but you know, doing shit like throwing a can of tomato soup on it for climate change. Pretty ridiculous if you ask me, but I mean, that's just kind of, I guess, the world we live in. That's the people who populate the society that we live in who are doing shit like this. So thankfully there was no damage to the painting though, and it was able to be completely recovered. That would have been pretty sad, man. I'm not gonna lie. I am a fan of art. I take art and culture like that pretty seriously, right? Like, these art pieces have had genuine impact on people, you know what I mean? And for people to try and vandalize shit like this, like legitimate history, is just depressing, man. Like, there's so many different ways to spread your message, and the first way that you can think of spreading your message is to just be destructive. What does that solve? What does that help anybody? You know what I mean? So it's really just a stupid thing. I hope these people got arrested. I didn't see any reports of them getting arrested or anything, so I don't really know how this all went down. But at the end of the day, just this was not the move, man. This was fucking ridiculous. And with that being said, though, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, vandalizing a Van Gogh painting to get my way, and signing out.